Well, I've added another pack into my gear rotation. So in this video, I'm going to share with all of you a first look at the Meadowphysics Grasshopper. Hey everyone, Matt here with Reach Your Summit Trail Name Knowledge. I'm super excited to share this video with all of you. This here is a pack that I've been eyeing for a couple of years now, but due to its limited availability, it was extremely difficult for me to get a hold of one. That is until now. So this is the Meadowphysics Grasshopper. This is a 22-liter school-style inspired backpack. Per the Meadowphysics website, this is a school-style inspired pack that is perfect for thru hikers who are often confused as day hikers. Very simple, very minimal, though it does have a few really nice features to it. First, we'll go into the specs of the pack, things that I've really been enjoying so far, a couple of things that I wish that it had, and I'm also going to open up the pack and show you everything that I have in here. I do have very limited use with this pack at the moment, so this video is more a first look. As I get a lot more mileage in with this pack, I will certainly put something else up in the future. But I was able to get out recently on an overnight backpacking trip. I was super eager to get out there and test it out. So I got out for an overnight trip on Sandy Neck Beach in Cape Cod. I'll share with all of you the conditions that were predicted and what actually transpired while I was out there. And we'll go into everything that I have here in this pack. And I'll show you how I packed this relatively small backpack for that micro adventure. So at the time of filming this video, this pack has a couple of color options. Both are made out of a 210 denier ultra grid fabric. I went with a nice classic black. It has a really nice, beautiful aesthetic look to it, very traditional. There's also a really nice soft purple, and had I not already owned a Palante Desert Pack in purple, I most likely would have gone with that softer purple for this pack. So the main body, outer pocket, and the shoulder straps are made out of that 210D Ultra Grid. And then there are two bottle pockets, one on each side, that are made out of an Ultra Mesh. Bottom pocket that is also made out of the Ultra Mesh. So this is a side entry bottom pocket, and then there's a trash port on the back. Tons of lashing points around the entire pack. Waterproof zippers that are number 8 YKK zipper. So there's one for the front outer pocket here and also for the main body of the pack. Daisy chain loops along each shoulder strap, a hole loop. And then what's really unique and neat about this pack are the shoulder straps themselves. So this is using around a 1.5 inch wide shoulder strap on each side. And then the thickness of the shoulder strap is about 1/2 inch thick. So a good amount of cushion and comfort and support. And there's no mesh to the shoulder straps, so it's really nice because it doesn't wet out or get soaked through like a lot of other pack straps will. The Ultra Grid has a higher water resistance than other fabrics, so that helps contribute to that too. There is no sternum strap to this pack, though you could certainly easily add one with the daisy chain loops. Inside the main body of the pack, there is a removable closed-cell foam sheet to give the pack a little bit of structure and support. It is super easy to remove, and that is what I did for that backpacking trip, so I'll show you that in a little bit. The sleeve that the closed-cell foam pad sits in can also accommodate many laptops, so I don't have any trouble getting my MacBook inside of there if I wanted to carry it in there. Total weight on my scale for the pack empty with that closed cell foam sheet on the inside was 12.3 ounces, and the total cost for this pack is $200. Torso measurement for this pack is around 17 inches, and my torso is in between 18 and 19 inches, a little bit closer to 19. I still find this pack to fit really well. It will sit up a little bit higher, but I can adjust the shoulder straps to have the pack drop down a little bit, which allows me to have nice, easy access to the water bottles. I haven't had to take this pack off at all while grabbing those. And then of course with the bottom pocket, I have quick, easy access to things throughout the day while I'm hiking. So best use case for this pack. This is a pack that you will most likely find suitable if you're looking for something that's super minimal but still has a couple of key features, and you have a base weight that is around 5 pounds or less. This is not a pack that you would want to be carrying more than 15 pounds with. You may be able to get away with up to 20 pounds here and there, but it's gonna start feeling a little bit uncomfortable. So I'd say 15 pounds is about the max for this pack. So this is a pack that I would find to be a lot more comfortable for warmer conditions, summertime. If I were looking to use this for a through hike, I could see this being used on the Camino or possibly even the Pacific Crest Trail, or where I have more frequent resupplies like the Appalachian Trail here on the East Coast or the New England Trail. But this is not a pack that I would want to be using on a trail, say like the Great Divide Trail or even the Kuas Trail. Even if you have a 5-pound base weight, you still need to be cognizant of what you're carrying for food. So you need to be packing things that are going to be calorically dense. Certainly going to be a little bit more difficult to, say, carry like a bag of chips, which is something that I've enjoyed carrying on some of my through hikes in the past. You really need to have things dialed in to make everything work. That said, this pack would make a great pack for day hikes, and that is something that I will certainly be using this for day hikes, for going around town and running errands or stopping at a farmer's market, travel. This would be a fantastic pack for that. So some of the things I really like about this pack, I love how comfortable it is. The thickness in the shoulder straps just works really well with weight distribution and comfort. I love the wide entry for the main body of the pack. Since I prefer roll top style packs, I wasn't sure how I would feel about that, but I've been really enjoying it. It is nice and easy to get things in and out. The lash points are nice. This outer pocket is really nice to keep other things separate. That is also something that is a minor gripe for me, and it's just due to what I'm specifically used to. I do find that I need to take this pack off if I want to get at certain items, just because I'm so used to carrying things in my shoulder strap pockets. So it's just something that I'm aware of with this pack. It's something that I need to get used to, but it does not hinder this pack in any way. That said, I would have loved to have just a small shoulder strap pocket on here, just so I could put my phone in there. Again, this is a very niche pack built with a very specific purpose. So on my recent backpacking trip, I carried my phone in the pocket of my shorts so I could have quick access to it, just so I could stop and take videos or photos along the trail while I was out. So again, that's not really a deal breaker for me, just because I know what I'm getting with this pack, and I knew that that was something that I would need to factor in with hiking with this pack, at least for that specific trip, because I do have quite a bit packed in here. Though I'm more of a lycra mesh pocket type of hiker, I do really like the higher abrasion resistance that the Ultra Mesh offers, and also the water resistance. So I'm really excited and happy to have this pack. I'm looking forward to putting many more miles on it. I have a lot of specific trips lined up for this, and also getting out on day hikes with it too. So now let me get everything out of this pack, and I'll show you what I brought with me for backpacking on Sandy Neck and Cape Cod, and then we'll go over repacking this pack. So for reference with everything I'm about to share with you that's in this pack, for that backpacking trip, I was expecting conditions to be in the upper 40s to low 50s during the day, and the low to mid 30s at night. Being along the coastline, you do also have a little bit more exposure to wind and any type of precipitation that might come by. And there was also a storm up to the north that I had actually traveled from. I was up in the White Mountains in New Hampshire the day before, where they received snow in the higher peaks, and conditions were right around freezing to below freezing. So a lot of that was channeling down, making its way out to where I was going to be for this trip. What I actually experienced out there were conditions in the mid-50s during the day, and the temperatures at night reached the upper 30s. So it was very comfortable for the most part. It was quite a bit windy, but what I have in here was to allow me to be safe and comfortable and enjoy my experience. Also allowed me to still get out with this specific pack. So let's get into what I have here with me. So here's everything that I had for the backpacking trip. On the trip, I used the Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite NXT. This is a regular wide pad, and I just folded it up and I put it right in the sleeve in the back where this closed cell foam sheet normally is. And it fit perfectly in the back here. Gave me a good amount of padding and comfort. And you can see it sitting in there now. Then I used a Nylafume pack liner for my quilt and things that I wanted to keep dry. So similar to what I would do with my roll top style packs, I just sat this inside of the main body of the pack and lined it. And then inside of my quilt, I did have a few extra things. So I had my Sea to Summit Eros down pillow. Tossed that in the foot box. Pair of Farpoint Alpha Direct 90 camp pants. Those I slept in. Brought an extra shirt, though I didn't end up using it. I just wanted to have it just in case it started getting really wet. Nothing worse than being in really cold temperatures when it's wet. So I wanted to have a nice dry shirt, but I didn't end up using it. I have my Alpha Direct sleep socks. A separate pair of Injinji toe socks. Again, for if the precipitation was to actually happen as predicted, which it did not. The Alpha socks are strictly for camp. They are not something that I want to be hiking in. They'll break down very quickly. And this quilt is the Enlightened Equipment Enigma 20 degree quilt. This is a 950 fill power down inside of here, so it's really easy to compress and pack down small. It's also going to be a bit lighter than some other options out there, depending on the fill power you go with. Had I gone with a 30 degree quilt, I certainly would have had a bit more room than I have with this 20 degree quilt, but this worked beautifully. It was nice and toasty. And after that's compressed, I just twisted this up, shoved that down the side, and then my food bag. I went with a warm meal for this trip, so I went with the Bowl and Kettle crawfish etouffee again. I really like that meal. I had a good amount of food inside of my Ursack here, and then was lined with the Plymore odor-proof bag, and I have a bamboo spoon in here. And that just went along the back of the pack here, similar to what I would do with a frameless roll top style pack, similar to the packs that I've been making. Then in front of that, I have my Toaks 650 milliliter cook pot and the BRS stove and fuel, and also my lighter. Then I have my Diddy bag here. This is my electronics, my first aid kit in here, hygiene kit, gear repair. I have my multi-tool in here. I have a massage ball in here, sunblock, lip balm, and that I just put right next to the stove here. And I brought wind pants. These are the Montbell Tachyon wind pants. Also brought a Power Wool beanie that I made. Farpoint Alpha Direct wool gloves, just for a little extra warmth. I hiked in my Senshi Alpha 60 fleece during part of the day, along with my Farpoint Power Wool sun hoodie. Just because of the sun exposure, I was really happy to have that. But I wore this for a little bit of hiking and then also around camp a little. My puffy jacket for around camp was the Arc'teryx Cerium SL. This is a 1000 fill power hooded jacket. So it's very light and packable, but it lofts really nicely and it kept me plenty warm around camp. And I put that along the back here. And then in front of that, I have my shelter. This is the Meadowphysics Abode floorless tent. I'll put a link in the video description below so you can check that out if you're interested in this tent. This has quickly become one of my favorite tents, and I shared that in my last video on this channel going over my 2025 gear update. But I've had this for a couple of years now, and I've really enjoyed this tent. So I just put that in the front here. Then I zipped this up. The Patagonia Houdini that I have here with me was my wind shell for the trip, and I brought a very light plastic rain poncho just in case it did rain, but this was my wind protection for the entire time that I was out, and it worked really well. When I wasn't wearing it, I had it shoved inside of the main body of the pack here. Then in the front pocket here, I had some 8-inch long stakes for the sand, and I also brought some sand anchors. And I just had those right here. And I had my map and compass. I had my Garmin InReach Mini satellite communication, just in case I needed that. I had my bidet. I also had some sanitizer, some lip balm, my Umbras sunglasses, my Deuce of Spades trowel, and then I had my car keys and my wallet. And you can see, still have plenty of room for a couple of other things in there. Then on this side, I had my Canuck 1 liter through bottle and Platypus quick draw. And on the other side, I had my Igneous Gear Nobo 1 liter bottle and my trekking pole. And I had that anchored with this lash point here. And I cinched that down. And then I had my snacks for the day down at the bottom here. And then because I was using a floorless tent, I had used Tyvek for the trip. And that was my ground sheet and floor to seal off the tent. And I was able to fit that right inside of the main body of the pack here. And once more with the pack loaded up with everything I just put in there. So as you can see, plenty of room for everything for this backpacking trip. I was really happy to be able to still get out with this pack and test it, given the conditions that I was expecting and the time of year, because we're transitioning now into stick season. So certainly push this pack a little bit past what I would most likely use it for, which would be warmer conditions, specific locations and trails. It worked really nicely for this overnight trip, but it is not something that I will be doing all of the time in shoulder season, at least here in the Northeast. So there you have it. First look at the Meadowphysics Grasshopper 22 liter backpack. I hope you all found this video helpful and that you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you a little bit more of an idea of what is capable with this pack. It's a neat little pack, and I'm happy to have it in my gear rotation with my other packs. This fits a gap that I had in my lineup of backpacks that I use. So I'm really excited to finally have one and to get out on the trails a lot more and continue to use it. If any of you have picked up this pack as well and you've been using one, I'd love to hear how things have been working out for you, so leave that in a comment below. And if you have any questions about this pack or the gear that I had in here, or anything else in my other videos, please feel free to leave that in a comment below as well. Or you can contact me at any time at reachyoursummit.net. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I'm always adding to it. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you're all enjoying time out on the trails, taking care of yourselves and each other. So long for now, and I'll catch you in the next one.